my vision. About 3 months ago, I had a very, 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 very powerful and crazy vision. I did partake in a substance that is illegal in Colorado, and that's what I did use to, I guess, bring the vision out. But I kind of just did that, and I sat around, and I maybe did a little too much. And I sat around my house, and I was, and I was just hanging out, and I was watching TV, and then I just started thinking. And I just started thinking. And I started thinking. And I said, what is the beginning of the universe? We went all the way back. What is the beginning of the universe? It started out with boom. And my idea of the universe has become, I guess, this like someone flicking a marble. And you go boom, and the marble goes, and it starts. And it's a small, very, very small marble. And then you flick it. And then that, in effect, creates out of nothingness the life, the existence goes from that marble, and then spreads and just keeps going and going and going and going in like a V forever to where we are today. So we did do that. So that did happen. There is a Big Bang. We know that. There was a beginning of life. Of existence, of planets, and so what happens is all the planets have to align. All the gravity of everything that comes has to go around and go in circles and being interconnected with each other. And so it keeps going and going and going, and then eventually, when all the conditions are right, we have Earth. And when we have Earth, we have magma and lava forming, and 6 billion years ago, we have it's formed, I think about 4 billion years ago, I'm sorry. And the Earth forms and it's magma, and the conditions are not ready for life, and it takes another billion years to get anything ready, and then one day we get the wonderful creation of protozoa, or a single-cell organism, or just some fucking, just a very microscopic thing, that one-cell thing. I believe it's prokaryotes, or I don't fucking know. I studied this in college, and, that's what happens. We have these one-cell organisms, and then they go, and then they evolve, and then they evolve, and they become more. They become multicellular organisms. They can adapt to life. And then their lives matter so much because they started ours. So their lives come from, and they, they go and they become animals, and then they become we start inhabiting the oceans, because the oceans were very big at the very beginning of the Earth. And the oceans, and then we get fish, and then we get, deep sea animals, and, really crazy animals that if we saw them, they'd be like, ah! They're completely crazy. And then we keep going and going, and life keeps evolving, and there's so many different, and then, there's just different, different evolutionary trade-offs, and what's better, what's more important to have, being, being bigger and stronger, or be fast and quick, this entire thing, this balance is there, these two opposing ideas always fucking pong all the time, boom, 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 staying between the original V that was projected from the marble, by the way. So then it keeps going and going and going. So we keep this as an evolution cycle with every single life cycle that has happened. So we keep going. We eventually get to, the amphibians. And this is a very, very powerful image in my mind. I had this vision where I see this intuitive leap. What do I call it? The fucking leap. When every species makes it, every little part of life does it. Where the entire species builds up. I see a group of fish, and they're all pushing the fish out of the water. All pushing the fish out of the water. And the point of it is, the entire species is a reflection, the hero of the species is a reflection of the entire species. We have a Herculean moment where Hercules is the most perfect being of our species, the strongest, smartest, best man we have. So all the fish take their best fish and throw it out of the water, and it becomes a fucking amphibian. So that's what happens. And then the amphibian gets up, and the amphibian goes and changes into something else. Becomes an alligator. Becomes a reptile, becomes a salamander, becomes a toad, becomes a, and then we get dinosaurs, and then we get crazy big old animals, and we just get this diversity, this wonderful diversity of life. And then it keeps continuing to evolve. And we continue to evolve. And then we get mammals. And then we get rats and rodents, and the dinosaurs go extinct, and we get mammals, and we get all types of mammals. And monkeys, and we start getting that. And then the monkeys go, and then they get better, and they get smarter, they get better, and then they become man. Or our primitive ancestors, our the Cro-Magnons and the other kind of prehistoric man types, and then we get better, and so we became man, and then we started developing tools, we started developing irrigation, we started developing religion, we started developing science, we started developing technology, we started making the wheel, those are intuitive leaps, those are Herculean moments. We made a new thing. The most important thing in the world is those innovative fucking creatures that always make the new thing that jumps the next generation up. So, it keeps going and going and going and going, and we get to the Stone Ages. Then we get to the prehistoric, we get to the Egyptian kind of era. Then we get to the Greek era. And the Greek era, we develop so much. We develop music and art and literature and science and math and because the society as a whole is working so hard to fight. And everyone is important in that way because they are contributing to the society, and that's helping. And then we have, the Greeks, and then the Romans take over the Greeks, and then the Romans, lose everything, and then the fucking Dark Ages happen. And the Dark Ages happen, and we lose everything for 1,000 fucking years. From like 480 to 1580. When the Renaissance happens, because religion. Because we have religion happening, and we see that we come up with, it says put God first, and then we all kind of lose our intelligence for like 1,000 years. And the Black Plague, and a lot of other things. I know I'm generalizing because I'm talking about the history of the world. But, okay, so then that happens. And so we get to the Renaissance, and then we have the great thinkers, and the great thinkers come up like Albert Einstein understands. I'm sorry, Newton understands there's gravity, and so he finds out there's gravity in this world, and then we figure that's a scientific law that happens, and we find out more things like that the Earth isn't the center of the universe, and there is a sun and we go around it, and then we figure out, oh, then the Earth is circular, spherical, and then we keep going, and we find out more, and we develop, and we develop, and we develop, and when the business is important, science is important, teaching is important, everything is important in this evolution, because it's all part of the system that makes the entire species is making we're all making ourselves better. We keep going through that, and we keep going, and we come to this day and age, and we come then specifically, we come to me, my personal life, your personal life, YouTube, internet. We're in cars. We are in this weird, crazy society where, if you look back 1,000 years, it's like, what are we doing? It's like crazy. So we have a bunch of technology now, very good technology. I don't know what we're doing with spirituality. But we're in a very, very, very technologically functioning society. And very built up, because we cannot have people playing around on Twitter if there's no roads. Or, we have to have the roads and all the systems in place for that other thing to happen. We have to have the support of a society for some innovation to occur. So it's another theme that's going through this. So we keep going through that. And eventually we get to, so what do you think about your life? And so I have this vision. What happens next? I live my life. I see my grandparents die. I see my mom die. I see my dad die. I see my older brothers die. I see myself die. And that's it. I see myself die. And then I know the next generation takes over. And the only kind of, because I know the past vision, I know that the human I am now is going to create the next humans later. Influence the humans in the future. And what they will become. And my wish was, what will the humans in the future become? I want them to be kinder. I want them to be nicer. I know the world is going to end. I know, because I know that the world was created in that way, that the world will one day disintegrate. So, I see that image, and I see the world, and then eventually I just see the world collapse in this vision. And all I see also in the vision is humanity. What we do. We kill people. We burn people alive. We blow up buildings. We bomb. We love. And we have all the great, wonderful things that happen along with it. We love each other. We have children. We get married. We have births. We laugh. So how can you do the other? How can you start a war? How can you kill someone? How can you lie to someone? And that's why I think a lot of people have that same vision, have that same seeing the whole world in the 60s. Because they all took acid and they all saw that. And they saw what I saw. The entire history of the world and the future. And all the destruction and all the love. And you have to say, which one do you want to be? Do you want to be destructive or do you want to be loving? And that's my sermon of the day.